What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Touchdown with Doug Smith as we continue our world famous NFL Draft Prospect Series. And with the NFL Draft literally about 2 weeks away, guys, I got to you a very exciting receiver you have to know about. He'd be considered a dark horse receiver in this class. Not a lot of people know about, but after this interview, you're going to know a whole lot about. His last season, he absolutely crushed it over at Southern Utah. He finished off the year with 14 touchdowns, 14 tutties. Absolutely crushed it. Separation machine, route running deviant, man. He's a beast on the field. But I'm gonna let him tell a story, and we're gonna get to know the man underneath the helmet. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to take and welcome Isaiah Wooden. How you doing today, man?
I'm doing good, yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Happy to have you on the show, man. Now, you hail originally from San Diego, California. Is that right?
Yeah, San Diego, California, born and raised. Yes, sir.
That's dope, man. What was it like growing up in San Diego, man?
Man, it's nice, man. It's a blessing, obviously, to be around a lot of people that played in the NFL, a lot of people that came from here, Heisman Trophy winners and stuff. Also going to school at Helix, Reggie Bush, Alex Smith went there. A lot of other people went there. So, like, seeing that and knowing the expectation of being great and what it takes to, do your thing on the next level. So, yeah, it's been nice, man.
That's awesome, man. I'm very familiar with Helix, man. You're from La Mesa. I lived in Spring Valley in the early 2000s, man. So I remember hearing the echoes of a player. You mentioned him yourself, Reggie Bush. You know what that means, right? So, very, very exciting, man. When did you first fall in love with the game of football, man?
Man, that's funny because when I was younger, like a kid coming up, I actually played basketball first. So basketball is always my first sport, favorite sport. And then I hit the football field and I turned 6. So it was just like immediately impact. Like as soon as I touched the ball, I scored my first time touching the ball. And it was just like something that I was very good at and it was easy, you know what I mean? And just continued to go on from there. And it was just like, dang, as soon as I touched the field, they knew that was going to be my sport to play.
Love it, man. Do you still hoop from time to time?
I try not to right now because it's a lot that's going on. I got to make sure my body's right and stuff for these next coming months and into the future. But I mean, if I could, I would. I still got it a little bit. So
That's cool, man. That's cool. Now, you are training over at one of the best places that an NFL draft prospect can train, and that is Athlete Innovations. I want to shout them out, man, because they're birthing a lot of very special players in the Tampa area. What is that whole experience been like for you training there?
Oh man, it was nice. Cliff, all them boys over there, Dre, man, Coach D, Nas with the camera, like all them guys over there, man, they helped us out a lot. And going there, talking to people that's actually in the NFL and people that Cliff has worked out, it was just like, man, that's a place that you want to be at this point in time because he's gonna show you the realness of it. He's not gonna sugarcoat nothing to you. You feel me? Like if he knows you're better than what you're doing right now, he gonna tell you and you gonna push. And like when I came from there, like pro day, I put up great numbers. Just the training that he put us through, that great training, it helped me out a lot, and it actually helped my case out a lot. So it was a blessing to go down there and work with those guys.
I see they're doing a lot. They had Shedrick Jackson over there, a lot of other great players, even in this year's draft, including yourself, man. Take us into and making the transition from high school into college. Now, you played at Kent State. What ultimately led you to Kent State?
Yeah, so coming out of high school, senior year, had a great year. I led the country in like punt return yards and stuff like that. So, mainly I was just wanted to go into college doing the same thing, but finding my footing. So I went to Utah Tech and I played a year there where I got all RMAC for kick return and average yards and stuff like that. And unfortunately, after that season, our coaching staff got fired. So that led to the decision of hitting the portal. Talked to a lot of people, a lot of family friends, and they had connections with, different coaches. So I had got plugged in with Kent State University. And, I went out there first year, 2019, I had the red shirt. After that, COVID happened. So it was like a lot that was going on with COVID. So it was a shortened season, but, I got to get in and show a little bit. First game that I played in, I had 3 catches, 83 yards, a touchdown. So that was like my first D1 game. So it's like, okay, now the rest is going to take over going into 2021. It was a lot of different things that happened as far as like not really, getting a playing time that I deserved and, that I actually earned because I had earned my scholarship that year before. And,
Yeah.
I just thought to myself, man, this dream that I want to chase, this dream that I'm chasing right now, I have to be somewhere where I'm really going to play to get the opportunity. So, I had to make the man decision and go ahead and hit the portal, man. And, you know, that time when I hit the portal, I came back home for about like 6 months, worked at SeaWorld for about 4 months.
Yeah.
Man, and just got a call one day from my coach at Southern Utah, and he was like, "Hey, you want to come here and play? I got a spot for you." And the rest was history.
Woo, man. Talk
Yeah.
about catching you off guard, man. What was that experience like, man? What was that feeling for you?
Oh, it was a blessing for sure because I was working so hard and everything that just had happened the year before, losing a son, my wife and I. So it
Sorry to
was a
hear
lot
that.
that was going on with that, so it was just like, dang, everything was starting to come into place and it was just at the right time. And I just was like, hey, I have to jump on this right now because, your junior year is your most important year for like all the kids out there. If you don't know it, junior year is the most important year, so you got to make sure that you go hard that year. And I had the opportunity to do so, so I gave it everything I had, and the rest is history. I'm here right now in this position. So,
Man, I love it. And man, my deepest condolences, man. Losing
uh,
a child is very, 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 very difficult, man. You mentioned you were in the RMAC, man. I got mad love for the RMAC. Probably a little more than you know. I played for New Mexico Highlands for a season.
okay, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I
we were
know
terrible.
exactly.
We were terrible. Yeah, we we had coaches smoking the reefer with the players and uh,
Man, see,
guys getting drunk before, like they weren't taking it seriously, man. So it was
yeah.
frustrating, man. But yeah, actually, I got my got my little Highlands flag here, man. But
So yeah,
it was a good time, man. It was a good time. So I got a lot of love for RMAC. Actually, Austin Eckler came from the RMAC. For
he
those who
did,
don't
yeah.
know, Danny
Hmm.
Woodhead came from the RMAC. Ryan Jensen, who blocked for Tom Brady, Super Bowl champion Tampa Bay Buccaneers, RMAC as well too over CSU Pueblo, man. So very familiar with that. And hey, it birthed you, man. Isaiah, what did you do? Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce you to the best barbecue in the state of Texas, The Jank. Now this barbecue is in 4 delicious flavors, and they got some of the best dry rub in America. Guys, if you live in the state of Texas, in any HEB, you can now find the best barbecue in Texas on the shelves. No matter where you're at, all around the world, you can take and place an order down below right now in the description of this video. And guess what? It gets the Doug Smith cosign. Because, hey, y'all know, I don't play when it comes to barbecue. Place that order right now. You went off on your pro day, man.
I'll jump 44 and a half. Yeah.
Sorry, 44 and a half inches. That is insane, man. You almost knocked every last pillar off of there, man. What was some of the feedback that you had from some of the scouts there?
Man, just in shock. They were in awe. They're like, one, you know what I'm saying? Like coming from a smaller school, FCS and stuff like that, and my stature, my height, they don't really expect nothing like that out of a person, of my stature and my height. So when I did it, they're just like, whoa, like he really just jumped. Like he just jumped 40. Like when I knocked down all the times, they're like, whoa, hold on. And then they kept having to like put it higher and higher and higher. And then, I just kept jumping. I jumped until they just like cut it because I guess they had everything that they needed. I mean, but that day I could have really jumped 50 if we being real, but they were just in awe. They never seen anybody jump that high like in real life. So
That's amazing, man. And I watch a lot of your tape, and dude, like you could have played it in Alabama, if I'm being honest with you, man. Like the separation, we're not talking hip to hip. We're not even talking 1 foot. There were certain plays, and the beginning of this episode, like, so I'll play the highlights. Man, they're like 3 feet, 4 feet in back of you, man. So
yeah.
your speed is great. I would argue, like, even though you had a very good 40 time, like, man, your game speed is probably much better than that, I could imagine.
Oh yeah, definitely. That day that we did our pro day and stuff like that, man, it was nice. All the teams, thankful for all the teams that came out. It was a little less than what we expected, but it was just cool to have those teams out there to see us and my teammates and all the hard work that we put in. But
Yeah.
running that 40, I trained very hard for that. Cliff Brown, you know, out there, Athlete Innovations. He trained us very hard, especially like me. When I came in, he was on me every day to make
Yeah.
sure that I come in and do what I got to do. So, running that 40, it was all training for months. That led from all training for months. And that 1 3 8 10 10-yard split, I mean, then nobody else run that. You know what I mean? So like I always say that my time is a little suspect, but at the end of the day, I'm not gonna complain with a 4.35. So
Yeah, and another thing to big you up on as well too. There were two receivers that like led in there. I think they were tied for first place. I think it was 15 touchdowns. Jalen Coker and Holy Cross and Brian Thomas. I believe they were tied, if memory serves me correct. But you were right behind that, man. You're 14. That's great. And I also want to shout you out as well too because you played against BYU. Now that was a rough game. BYU obviously they won, right?
yeah, yeah.
Um, However, you played very well. You played fantastic. And I love seeing that because sometimes these guys, they go to smaller schools and they crush it, but then they go up against the bigger competition, right? And they just kind of they don't do so well. So, man, what was that? Was that just another game for you, man? Or
Yeah, it was another game. I mean, like when we played against ASU, the beginning of the season, like the weather there was like terrible. It was trash. It was supposed to be, one of those games like I had at BYU, but fortunately I couldn't really do it like that. But I did have a reception for about 55 yards. So, that spoke for itself. But going into BYU, I just treated it like another game. I told my teammates, I'm like, at the end of the day, the odds are already against us. So just go out here and play like we're playing against any other team. And, if we come out victorious, we come out victorious. But at the end of the day, just leave everything out on the field. And that's what I did. I wanted to show that I could play against people, on this level. I've done it before. It's not anything new. We put our stuff on the same way that they put their stuff on. So it's like once you're in front of me, you got to show me that you're better than me. And there wasn't too many people that could show me that this year. So
man, I love it, man. Yeah, I feel like you got a chip on your shoulder, man, but it's giving you that edge,
hmm
a very necessary edge. I'm sure you would agree with me. Do you feel like you have a chip on your shoulder heading into this draft, man?
Oh, definitely. Man, I've had a chip on my shoulder since I was a kid, and it's just continued to stack higher and higher and higher. And, I never let it break me. But at the end of the day, I mean, the time is now. I want to show everybody that, I didn't go to a big school. I didn't go to no Alabama, LSU, but trust me, I could play just like them dudes or even better. I think I'm the best player in the draft, to be honest with you, because I mean, I could do a lot of different things that a lot of people can't do. When I get the ball in my hands, I run like a running back. I don't run like a receiver and get tackled on the first touch or anything like that. I can make you miss. I can run through you if I want to. It's a lot of different things that I could do. I'm versatile. I could play running back, kick return, punt return, run down on kickoff, run down on punt, like anything that you need me to do. So
Man, yeah, you're a man's man out there, man. You're a blue collar type football player, man, and I
uh,
love it, man. So many guys come
obsessed with
into
it.
this in this draft and they're just like, once they get that bag, man, that's it. The hunger goes down. It's kind of hard to work out when you have silk jogging shorts, But
Man, hey, I'm obsessed with the game. I always say that. My wife, she be telling me sometimes to like not talk about football and you know what I'm saying, and I'll be like, hey, I got you, you know what I'm saying? But I'm just so obsessed with it. She knows that too. And it's just I mean, it's a blessing to be in this position because it's not too many that can say they are. So
yeah, that's dope, man. That sounds very similar to my wife, man. She's like, Doug, really? We're trying to watch a show about nature. How does
you know, I'm talking about football.
like that's it? Cut it out.
Yeah.
I feel it, man. No, when I watch your tape, man, there's some hints of Tyreek in there. I see some hints of Jalen Waddle. I see some hints of some Steve Smith in there, the more aggressive catches that you've had, right? But in your opinion, in your observation of yourself, who are some players that you perhaps model your game after?
Man, Reggie Bush, when I was a kid, I played running back my whole life up until high school. So everything that I did was to emulate Reggie Bush. I mean, he's from my city. We from the same city. We went to the same high school. We
There you
played for
go.
like, there you go, yeah, 619, man. Hey, we played at the same youth football team once a time. So it's just like I seen everything that he was doing, and I was like, well, I don't play running back anymore, but I could still model my game after him. So after the catch, how I run, how I cut, how I juke, you know what I mean? And like a lot of people do say I play like Tyreek Hill as well with the speed blowing past people and I love Steve Smith Sr. because he's just physical. he's a smaller dude, but he gonna show you that I'm here. Like, you can't mess with me. I'm here. I don't care how small I am. You got to show me that you can beat me. So
Yeah, plays a big man's game, and it's dope. I could hear him talk football tape for hours. Man, he is
mhm.
one of my favorite analytical people. But as a player, dude, I mean, who's harder, Calvin Johnson or him? Like he played like a 6'5" guy, and it didn't matter his height, right?
Mhm.
Everything. Awesome, man. Now you had some interviews with some interesting NFL teams, man. How were those interviews going?
Oh, they're good, man. They were good. Got good feedback from teams and stuff like that about what they would want me to do when I come in, how I can impact the team, stuff like that. Also, let them know how, the things that I could do for them as well, not just, on the field, but off the field, how I carry myself, how, I care about a lot of people, show myself in a positive light, not a, what they call a Debbie Downer. I'm
Yeah,
a team type of player, somebody that's going to uplift everybody that's around me. I'm a leader. They like my IQ of football, how I know coverages, how I could read, how I could get into the zone, and how to use my speed and know when to turn it down as well. So it's been very good.
I love it, man. I love it, man. And then one of my last questions, man. This doesn't have anything to do with football, man. But what are some of your favorite food spots in San Diego, man?
Man, sombreros for sure. Like every time I
Mm.
leave Dago, it's like, man, I want a taco or a burrito, like anything. It's like I don't have it anywhere else. So like whenever I come back here, I go to sombreros. Also tacos El Gordo. Tacos El
Oh,
Gordo is for the tacos, and then sombreros is for the burritos for me at least. And
nice.
man, those are my favorite two spots, man. Get a California burrito and just go out to tacos El Gordo, get a good taco, man, and just sit there and just enjoy it with a horchata.
Yeah. Oh, horchata, man. Yeah, he's speaking my
Yeah,
language, man.
yeah,
Yeah. Now there's the big debate: who had better Mexican food, Texas or California, man? And there's stuff that's great about each state, but the fish tacos are way better in California, definitely. And then the carne asada is just
man,
out of
yeah.
this world in San Diego, man. Speaking from experience, that's dope, man. Now, man, like I feel so privileged because I feel like I'm one of, if not the first person to interview you, man. You're such a special player. You have so much to offer. You got a great head on your shoulders. Athletic. I don't want to call you a freak, a mutant out there, man. Like
Hey, man, yeah,
as far as your football skills and stuff, man, and you've been through some things, right, man? Like you mentioned about that loss, right? You mentioned about playing out of Division 2, then going to a smaller D1, and then going to Utah and crushing it your final year of college football, right? But what is something you want NFL teams to know about you that perhaps they may not know already?
I never waver, man. I never waver. I never let a hard time, like what Nip said, never let a hard time humble you. So you know what I mean? Like I keep going. I just keep going relentlessly. So
Mm,
from losing two sons, and losing a son, before this past season, something like that, man, I just kept going. Like at the end of the day, I'm not gonna let anything stop me. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna do what I have to do. Whatever that you need done, I'm gonna do it to the best of my ability. You're not gonna get no lip from me. You're just gonna get a hard ball player, somebody that just wants to play ball, that's obsessed with it. You know what I mean? And that's my whole thing. Like,
yeah,
a lot of people care about, you know, oh, if I go first round, second, third. I don't even care, to be honest with you. Like, obviously, everybody wants to hear their name get called, and I do want to hear my name get called. But if that comes and that doesn't happen, or whatever the case is, I mean, I'm gonna be happy wherever I go because the team that picks me up gonna get everything out of me for years to come, not just for a split second, for years to come. Because I'm that type of player that they've been waiting for. So.
I love it. I love it, man. It's special about you too, man. Like you have that dog, that grit, and I believe everything you say, and you've proven everything that you said, right? So, and it just takes one NFL team to select you, and you're right. There's people get selected in round 1 who should have been UDFA's, and there's people who are who become UDFA's or day 3 guys who should have been a day 1 or early day 2. You know what I mean? You ever see those redrafts and you're like, oh, that quarterback isn't there anymore? Like,
Yeah.
no matter the position, man. So, well, man, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. That is Isaiah Wooden Sr. coming out of Southern Utah State. One of the most special, explosive players you will see in this year's wide receiver class. And this class is crazy. Probably the craziest receiver class in the last decade, man. But watch the tape. If you need to get a hold of him, I'm going to take and have all this stuff down in the description of this video. Also, if you just want to follow his story, man, and get inspired, you can do that. Follow him and then comment below in this video. Before we go, Isaiah, any shout outs, man?
Oh yeah, shout out to, my mom, my dad. They've been here since the beginning, you know what I mean? Taking me to practice, doing all types of things and buying me all types of stuff since I was a kid. And my wife for putting up with me, man, like when, I come home from a game and I'm just down, I don't want to talk or do anything like that. She always uplifts my spirits. So, all my family, I appreciate them, all my family, my friends, coaches, all of them for, being a part of this journey. And it's just the beginning, so.
Man, I love it. There you have it, folks. Just the beginning. Ladies and gentlemen, that's Isaiah Wooden. We'll see y'all next time on The Touchdown with Doug Smith. Thank you for watching another episode of The Touchdown with Doug Smith, where we have exclusive NFL content and exclusive NFL interviews. Be sure to hit that like and that subscribe button. Follow us on social media. See you on the next one.